Okay.
You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. So, hello everyone. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Lefebvre. I host a show called Love and Lust. That's what most people know me from. A couple of Amazon movies too. People tell me they recognize me from. It's really weird. It's awkward.
Yeah.
People are
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awkward. But this is my really good friend. Fend? Are you a friend or a foe or a friend?
I think it depends on the day of the week, honestly. Frenemies. I think we're frenemies.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Bo, Anna's Anna's friend. And in addition to working with Anna on a whole bunch of different stuff, I'm also a certified sommelier with the Court of Master Sommeliers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you say?
I'm not just a line-speaking actor, I'm also a wine drinker.
Oh, no.
So today, Anna has frequently, we've been hanging out and whatnot.
Frequently?
Occasionally hanging out and frequently drinking. But during the pandemic, she's expressed a little bit of interest in learning a little bit more about wine. And since I happen to have a bunch of food lying around the house, I decided to cook a meal and...
Is it lying or laying?
Laying?
Laying or lying?
Both. So I decided to cook up a little meal and kind of walk both her and you guys through a little bit of the basics about wine.
You said I don't really understand, but
you drink. I made this.
Okay, so basically, this is what happened. I'm old.
She is very.
So I was like, okay, so this is what happened. I was like, let's do mukbangs or mukbangs or mukbangs.
I don't know why you're looking at me. I don't know how to say it.
So my younger brother, who is not even 20 years old, was like, okay, you should do mukbangs or whatever for YouTube since you guys want to see more of me apparently. I don't know. I think I'm boring, but whatever. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Mukbangs. That's it. Mukbangs. So I texted my friend who's in his 20s and I was like, let's do mukbangs. He thought I
Look, I don't like to admit I don't know things, so I said yes, let's do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
all right.
He was like, let's do it. And I came over and I'm like, so what are we doing? He was like, oh, we're doing such. I was like, that's not a mukbang. He was like, I didn't know what that was. I thought you misspelled a word. I was like, no. So for the first time in our relationship, which has been for years, I have been correct. I just put that on tape.
It happens occasionally, yeah.
But look at this. It's beautiful. Thank you. All for little me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, we're going to do this. I don't know what it is. I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not saying it right, let me know. Comment below. But what do we have here, Chef?
Cool. So basically, to go with our wine pairings, I picked up some local ingredients, all from a very new, hip, underground type establishment called Trader Joe's.
Oh, TJ's.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
TJ's is cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm in Florida too.
Yeah, probably. They're not sponsored, but if Trader Joe's would like to give us free food, I like free food. So there you go. All of this bought for under $100, all from Trader Joe's.
Nice.
And to start us off, I also want to showcase a couple different wines. To begin, I got a lovely Caprese salad going on right here. Yeah, really simple, easy to make. Just Caprese, dice it up, threw in some tomato, some balsamic vinaigrette, and the trick, a generous amount of salt, a little bit more than you think you should. Makes this lovely salad going on right here. What do you think, Anna?
Is it because of the, it's very good, but is it the additional salt because the Caprese is a little bit?
So when you expand, Caprese normally traditionally is done kind of like slices. It looks like a sandwich made only out of tomato and mozzarella. I like to dice up the mozzarella to expand the surface area a little bit. It allows a little bit of that fattiness, a little bit of that oiliness to seep out more, and you can kind of taste it. And when that mixes with the salt, it kind of just opens up the taste on your palate, which is a fancy way of saying your taste buds.
Okay.
And it's able to open it up a little bit more, and that also combines really well with the balsamic vinaigrette, also from Trader Joe's.
Nice.
And I thought that's a great pairing for our first wine, the Nebbiolo 2019 Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes. And Anna, if you have any questions at any point along the way, please let me know. So first up, we have the Nobilo Sauvignon Blanc. It is a New World New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
I like white wine. It has its time and place.
It does.
Like it's more of like the pool wine, cheery kind of thing. Have you been to Vegas before?
Yes, I have. And we had two wildly different experiences of Vegas, I'd like to imagine.
Probably, but yours is probably actually better. I usually used to go to Vegas to work.
Yeah, I could see that.
So it wasn't really that fun. I've never been to a pool party in Vegas ever.
Never been to a pool party.
No, never.
I lost money and stayed in my hotel room. So there you go.
What hotel room?
I was passing through with my mom on our way to Colorado.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She's the one who gave me this wonderful recipe.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So a little bit of basics about the Sauvignon Blanc. It's a white grape, obviously. So Sauvignon Blanc is it's an interesting grape because it kind of adapts really well to a bunch of different environments. In cool weather regions like New Zealand, it really has a lot of acid in it. Acid is, if you've ever tasted anything, it tastes kind of really sour. Sauvignon Blanc is normally what does that. That's all that high acid in there, which gives it that unique taste. You get a little bit of lemongrass, a lot of guava sometimes.
I like guava.
Guava? Yeah.
Guava's good.
But you also get a lot of grapefruit in it. And that's what this is
I
known
like
for.
grapefruit too, though. That's funny because a lot of people don't like grapefruit. I love grapefruit.
So do I. Yeah, and then we sommeliers say you also get off blackcurrant. If I'm at a table is what I call it. It's a very distinctive kind of high, almost urea type smell. But if I'm talking to a friend or another sommelier, we describe it by the most similar thing that it smells like, which is cat urine. So if I'm with a som, we'll be smelling like...
I said that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get a hint of that off blackcurrant.
Nice.
But a reason that I wanted to show off this high cat pee urine is because it's a great example of what New World wine can taste like.
Okay.
New World wine, anywhere that's not Europe, is generally a little bit more fruit forward, which just means that the first thing you smell and taste on your palate or your tongue is that strong fruitiness. So if you're having anything that could go with a lot of lemon or lime zest, always go for a Sauvignon Blanc if you're just trying to start out. This one, I believe, only cost me $9.99, so pretty much a steal. Perfect for a hot day like this.
Yeah.
And always perfect for an appetizer.
No, it's like a lightweight wine, so that's why I like the white ones. The darker ones is like for nighttime, a nice like heavy meal kind of thing. For me, because I'm going to sleep afterwards.
Wine can do that.
Yeah, so. But yeah. So, how has your year been thus far? 2021.
2021 was better than 2020.
It's already better.
Already better. Just a little bit of background.
Okay, yeah, tell me the background.
Yeah. Before this and before coronavirus and everything hit, I was working as the sommelier for the Intercontinental Hotel downtown.
Nice. DTLA. Shout out.
Yeah. And basically, I ran the wine program for the hotel, but mainly for our high-end French steakhouse called La Boucherie, which is French for the butcher shop. Really, really great place. We were on our way to getting a Michelin star, and we had awards for our wine program, which had, I believe, at the time I left, it was down to about like 1,300. But at our peak, we had about 1,500 different wines under our label.
That's a lot of wines.
A lot of different kinds.
That's a lot of wines. There's a lot of wines out there. The thing about wines, guys, is honestly, it's like a really good conversation piece. And I love art. Wine is like an art.
Yes, it is.
That's how you grow it, how you have the flavors and everything. And it's it's different. It's different. You can do hard liquor, but it's you're gonna get the same shit every single time. So
a reason I love wine more than most hard liquors is, well, I also love hard liquors. Reason I love wine is because it does have like a little bit of that alcohol feel, but you don't drink it just to, get fucked up. You drink it also.
Oh, you don't, but I do.
Okay, while you're doing it though, you're not about shooting it's not like you're shooting rot gut. You're actually able to taste it. You're actually able to enjoy having the glass.
Yeah.
You're not trying to get it gone as quick as possible. Or at least that's not how I do it, if it's a good one. Yeah, I'll give you more. Jeez. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. So when did you start cooking? When did you like cooking and?
Well, when I first moved out here, I kind of started to pick it up a little bit. When I first started studying wine back.
Is it because you just loved it, or is it because of something else?
I kind of just had a lot of free time, and then obviously during quarantine, I had a lot more free time. You cannot pick up a tomato, can you?
No. Do you see how I hold a fork?
Very poorly.
Awkward.
Oh, sure.
Oh no, I know. I understand.
Yeah. So during quarantine, especially, I had a lot more free time on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And as a som, you're trained to be able to pair wines with food.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figure if I had to stay in a little bit more, I might as well, be able to make some good food with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Has season.
Yeah. Doesn't it?
Season and seasoning.
Which is interesting for your very French palate.
It is. French is very simple. Very, very simple. But I cook a lot of different kind of foods. I'm born in New Jersey. I was really raised around Italians. So pasta is something I'm very passionate about. And wine. That's how I started drinking wine. I started with a Prosecco and Bellinis.
Okay, like every soccer mom does in the Midwest.
Do they do like wine and vodka, or they
Look,
just do
if
wine
you're
and peach puree?
If it's a Sunday and you're a mom and you live in a cul-de-sac, you are drinking Bellinis in your book club.
Yeah,
with your friends.
that's true.
Mm-hmm. When you're reading your books.
The reason why I say it's true is whenever I go to
reading
Midwest,
your books. Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means you're not reading, you're drinking. That's what a book club is.
But when you go to the Midwest, there's nothing to do besides drink.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I go, I'm drinking for like 12 hours.
As well you should.
Yeah, and then I come back an alcoholic, and I have to detox.
And
my liver's like, no, stop.
Well, that's because you need to train yourself more, okay? You're not training, you gotta commit.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I'm impressed,
I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm.
Kind sir.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, no, the Parmesan, the fresh mozzarella is like a really big thing for me.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't like shitty ones.
Yeah. You don't like, not a big fan of mozzarella sticks, are you?
No, I actually love them. I actually can make them very well. I actually love them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because fun fact, they're actually string cheese with bread.
It's so easy. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to make. So easy. Just go buy the string cheese, batter it, and then...
Yeah, just it comes out. Yeah.
Anything fried actually really tastes. It tastes really well.
Man.
It tastes really good. So.
Especially if you have the right wine with them.
Yeah.
Actually, if you are having any type of fried food, a little bit of trick that most sommeliers have, if they're giving a... Yeah, what?
Tell me the trick.
I'll tell you the trick.
Stop being a tease. Tell the trick.
Most sommeliers, when you're giving... For those who don't know, if you're at a higher end restaurant, normally a sommelier will be, during dinner service, out there taking orders, kind of managing the dinner service. But an interesting part of their job is, upon request at any table, they give wine recommendations if you want them. So a lot of somms normally have trouble with fried food until someone discovered that fried food and sparkling wine is probably the best kept secret. Oh yeah, it's really good. So
the salt.
It's because the higher acid and the effervescentness of the bottle, which is a fancy way of saying the bubblies, that high acid and that bubbly feel really kind of counteracts the salty and the crispness of the fried food. So it kind of cuts it through on your palate, so you're able to taste it a lot more, and it's able to taste a lot richer. Same reason and the same principle goes behind why I had the mozzarella with the Sauvignon blanc. is because it kind of dries out your tongue and dries out your palate a little bit. And so the fattiness and the juiciness of any cheese kind of gets in and fills it up.
Just be careful if you go on a date, though. If you're burpy, don't have Prosecco and don't have bubbly wine. Because it will make you burpy.
Unless you don't like that date. In which case, yeah.
I was on a date with this one guy. And if you ever listen to my podcast, Love and Lust, you have heard this story. He burped the whole entire date.
Just getting right up in your face and just...
date ever. I was sitting there, I'm like, what the is going on? He was an alkaline vegan.
Ooh.
And he decided that he was doing a, what do you call it? A fast.
Oh.
So he was just drinking like water with lemon and something like that. But I was like, you really chose to see me, and we went out to a restaurant, and this is your decision. This is like your choice. Like, this is what you decided to do. You could have passed.
That's a rookie mistake.
Yeah. Never saw him again. Never. It was horrible.
I can see that.
I'm like, how are you sitting there just burping?
Yeah.
People are strange.
People are strange indeed. Yeah.
They are, so. But yeah, so we're gonna go to the next course.
Yeah, absolutely. Just gotta finish the Sauv Blanc.
Oh, we're gonna do a different wine.
So next, I'm gonna be doing a different wine and a different course.
Okay.
So moving on.
So how many courses do you usually make or prepare at your restaurant?
Depends. So at my restaurant,
because at my family's house, if we're cooking, it's gonna be like 10 courses.
That sounds about right.
That's the French way.
That is the French way. It's also just lots of meat, like so much meat. At La Boucherie, we had
It's a meat, yeah.
You had so many cuts of steak.
And the thing is, I used to love steak.
Interesting.
I used to love steak tartare, steak. Ooh, I would tell
nice
blue black. I don't want it raw. I don't want it rare. I want it, if you were going to cook it, I want it between tartare style, the cooking style, and rare. I don't want it rare.
Yeah, I get you.
So I used to be a real big carnivore of meat.
Just all of it. I could see that.
All kind of meat.
Yeah. As a vegetarian working at a steakhouse, it was a bit of a crash course for me. But yeah, learning the difference between all the grades of Kobe and the difference between a New York and a flank steak versus all that jazz.
All that jazz.
Mm-hmm. But for... I was saying something about French food. What was I saying?
About the courses.
About the courses. So at our restaurant, our courses... it varies. Normally, it's an appetizer. They can have a pasta type dish and an antipasto. But normally, because it's a higher end steakhouse, they like to just go straight for the steak with some truffle mac and cheese on the side. And for $125 extra, you can have white truffle shaved on it at tableside, which I have done before.
I've had that.
Bougie.
Yeah,
I get
sometimes you got to do it.
Sometimes you do.
I didn't pay for it, but sometimes you got to do it.
That was real good.
Okay, so is this better?
Yeah, right there's perfect.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's good. I can see it. Yeah, you seem fine. You look almost the same height.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
I'm telling you, it's not that easy being a big person.
Fair enough. Oh, okay. Just real quick. Bullshit, it's not easy being a big person. As a short person, I can attest to that.
Why?
Oh,
that's what irritates me. No, that's what irritates me with people, especially guys that are shorter than me. You have so many options. There's short women.
Yeah, we do.
What the fuck?
Anyway, well, yes. Okay, so, yeah. Societal convention says says it's supposed to be a tall man and a shorter woman. So, it's a weird thing.
It is a weird thing, but because you have
confidence.
So many more choices than I have. If we go by society's measures, what you just said.
True, but...
I don't have that many options, because guess what? The taller guys, guess what they are usually?
Yeah, athletes, yeah.
And what are athletes?
Tall.
And what are they? Not that very nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
They're not that nice.
When you ball, you gotta ball big.
Exactly.
I've told you this.
That's their whole entire motto. But here, let's get off that subject.
Fair enough. All right, next up, I got a pasta primavera with, I can't talk today. I got pasta primavera with some Parmigiano Reggiano topped with a bay leaf, and I have the Willamette Valley Vineyards Whole Cluster Pinot from Willamette Valley that I'll be pairing with it.
Nice.
And I like to do this because it gives me a chance to break out my special little tour, the Corvin.
Yeah, it's a nice little tool, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. If you're ever at most higher-end restaurants, most of them will have this. It's a special little device that basically allows you to go into a bottle without actually opening it.
Ooh, so how do you do that? You go into something without going into it?
So, as you could see, it had a little...
Oh.
Yeah. So as you can see, I'll turn to the camera so you can see it a little bit better.
Guys, if you get this and you show your... Never mind. It's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of show. If you get this, let me tell you, on your date, she'll be impressed.
She will.
She'll be impressed.
Basically what it does is there's a little argon gas capsule in there. And when I'm doing this, it pushes the argon gas into the bottle.
Okay.
So that I can basically pour a full glass straight through it. And then when I pull it out... See? Nothing.
How many guys can pull out and that happens?
Ha ha! It's a sex joke.
No, it wasn't. I literally just asking. No, it wasn't.
True.
It was
True.
innocent.
And because I just ran out of Archon, I'm opening this up anyway because it's really, really good. So, this is a American Pinot, obviously from Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah. So Pinot Noir.
Shout out Oregon.
Shout out Oregon. Ever since ancient times, has been considered one of the most delicate wine grapes. But if you can grow it in the right region, it is so good. Because it's a thin-skinned grape, it has less tannin in it. Tannin in wine is the stuff that makes it taste bitter.
Okay.
So if you've ever had wine and you're like, oh, it's a little bit too much.
I'm looking at the color too. The color is a little bit.
Yeah, because
cranberry-ish.
because so thin skin, when make the juice out of it, all the color comes from the skins. Ooh. So it's a much lighter shade when it comes out of the bottle.
Nice.
And as a result, you get a lot of lighter flavors in it. More cranberry, more
that's what it
cranberry,
like.
cherry.
Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Cranberry sauce. Have you ever made cranberry sauce from scratch?
I have actually.
It's
really good.
Kind of satisfying, but no one eats it usually.
That's true.
Eats it? Cranberry is just like one of those things like turkey. You just like make it to make it.
That's
it
true.
Just sets your table.
Also, if you're ever having turkey or roasted chicken, go with a Pinot Noir. Cheers. Whew. It's really good.
It's actually very good.
Yeah, so right here. So I really like this one because it's whole cluster. What that means is they harvest the entire... If you've ever seen a grapevine that has like a little... Like there's a big cluster or like a sack of a whole bunch of different grapes on one like little vine. So they harvest the entire thing individually, periodically cutting off the grapes that are the worst grapes, so that all the energy goes to the best possible grapes, and then they throw it in when they are pushing it down with all the skins and the stems to give it a little bit of a grip, a little bit of a tannic kick to it. That's why I wanted to have it with these roasted vegetables and marinara and tomatoes and primavera.
Nice, very nice. It's good. What kind of noodles are these?
The rigatoni. So rigatoni, they're the kind of noodles, as you can see, that look a little bit like a tunnel. I like using them because it allows the sauce to kind of like circle throughout and also like get right up in it. And you can also sometimes get some vegetables in there too, and it's, I think, my personal favorite.
I like penne.
Oh, the
Short
boca.
noodles is a sin to pair with seafood in Italy. They won't even do it.
I could see that.
A sin. It's like a bad omen.
Well, yeah. But to be fair,
it's al dente too. Do you rinse your noodles in cold water?
You can. I think only if you're making noodles from scratch do I personally do that. Well, now normally I'm out and in. I go for about a minute less than you're supposed to. when the water's just below boiling to get it like this. Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of people struggle with boiling noodles, and they get it a little bit too,
It's deceptive because if you do it too long, it just comes out in one like big like.
Yeah, and it's not good.
No,
it
it's a
really
big brick.
It changes the flavor of the taste.
Mm-hmm.
When it's all like limpid. I've not even seen things
when it's not
like
strong and ready to go.
It needs to be like, attention! This is good. The different flavors you have in here I'm seeing is cheese, noodles, obviously, basil, couple different kind of peppers, tomatoes, red onions, basil.
Correct. So
olive oil.
Yeah. Basically, what I do is I roast in a pan with some olive oil all the vegetables. I use a lot of tomato. You can use squash in it, but I think squash is just a little bit too it's a little bit too savory. And it's just kind of there.
Okay.
It doesn't really add that kick that your veggies I think should. But when you roast it with garlic and a lot of pepper, it really causes it to open up, in my opinion. And so that's why I like doing it this way with this pasta, so that it really lets the sweet peppers kind of flourish a lot.
Nice.
And it's perfect for any day. You can have it hot or cold. You can throw in some scrimps and make a nice seafood pasta. And it always goes well with a nice pinot.
It's very good.
Glad you like.
Very good. Pinot's very light. Sometimes red wine is not light. This is very light.
Yeah, it's because when a wine's made in a cooler climate, it has more acid. When it's made in a hotter climate, it has more alcohol. So a more cool weather climate like Oregon, the grapes are going to be lighter. It'll be a lot lighter body, a little bit higher in acid. But when it has a little bit of that tannin from the skins, it always, I think, makes it open up really well. And this is actually a red wine you can even have with fish. So,
I can see that.
Oh yeah.
I can most definitely see that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, glad you like.
Very good. I'm impressed. Because sometimes when I go to people's house and they talk about they want to cook for me, I'm just like, okay.
What? You're not a fan of,
Random people? No.
Nah, you're not a big fan of just random lean cuisines?
No.
But they're lean cuisines.
My definition of cooking is different from other people's definition of cooking, so.
Okay, lots of French in you coming out.
We're a little on that. A little bit. Just a little bit. But, yeah. It's good, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
I didn't even ask for more cheese. That's good. Yeah. Yep, very good. The wine's good too.
What do you like?
Sometimes I'm iffy on red wine, especially during the day. At nighttime, okay.
I can see that.
During the day, I'm not.
Well, the trick is with red wine, you just have to find the right one. Because there are so many. Yeah. You might like a light-bodied one.
You can make your own too.
You can. Basically, there's this big mysticism behind wine. People think that it's like something that's all hidden and it takes years and years of study. It can, but basically it's just grape juice. So when you learn the science behind everything else, that's what kind of completely changes it. Yeah, so this is a light-skinned Pinot Noir. And I think something like a Burgundy might be more up your speed.
Yeah. Remember one time, the first time I bought like champagne grapes? I was like, oh my god. You know champagne grapes. Okay, they're not the regular grapes. They're the grapes that you see, like the Greek people, like, and they're just like, So I don't know, I had a moment.
I can see that.
And I wanted, they're the most disappointing grapes in my whole entire life.
Oh, yeah.
The worst grapes I've ever had.
It's so...
I still ate them like this. I still embodied that, but...
So, in a nutshell, all wine basically comes from... Like 95% of all wine comes from one specific kind of grape. It's called the Venice Vinifera. All like Pinot, Cab.
Ooh, like Venice Beach in California.
Exactly. So all of those grapes are just different grapes in the Venice Vinifera family. With the exception of like one grape that's native to North America, called the Norton. It's pretty good actually. So these grapes are basically specially, over the years they've been kind of bred to taste completely different from a grape you'll just eat at like the store. These grapes are going to be the sweetest possible thing you've ever tasted in your life, because when they make a wine out of it, they squish it down, and then the yeast that's in the air, will start eating up all that sugar, and it turns that sugar into alcohol. So it has, I think, like 5 times the amount of sugar in it that grape you'd have just on your table might normally have. So if you ever are eating a wine grape, just like make sure you've taken your insulin already, because it's gonna just like it'll be the sweetest
really
thing you've ever had.
Like it's not good.
100%.
I don't like it.
Yep.
I don't like it. I didn't finish it. But yeah, thank you for the wonderful food and the complimentary.
Yep. Food and wine. Mukbang.
There you go, mukbang. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot.
Anytime.
So a couple hours, anytime.
Yeah. And again, if anyone would like to sponsor this video, I do like free wine and free food. So there you go.
Let's go. All right, guys. If you guys want to see me do anything that's like, wait, let me.
No. Go hard. Go all in it.
If you want to see me eat anything from LA, just let me know, because I know there's a lot of LA foods and stuff. Someone was saying In-N-Out. I guess I can eat like what, cheese sandwich?
You could.
Yeah. Like something like that.
Yeah.
But let me know. This is my first video. Be kind. And let's go from there. You guys, I'm out. Anna Lefebvre.
All right. I'm Bo Basowitz. That's Bo Basowitz on Instagram and Twitter. So.
But like and subscribe to this channel, and I will I'll talk
to you guys later. Peace out.
Anna out.